Hey kids, welcome to another math video, and I'm so glad you're here. Very exciting. After a couple days of no Wi-Fi, we have our internet service back on. So yay, I can make another video. Been kind of waiting. Oh, and by the way, this is lesson 15 for Eureka Math Grade 5 Module 2. And let me just say, this is really hard, and I understand. Please have no shame if you were crying over this assignment because it's so impossible and difficult for fifth graders. Don't worry about it, because I probably was crying at the beginning of this when I had to first start teaching it. I think we were all scratching our heads like, why are they so mean to these children? These problems are horrible. So this is a very, very challenging 4 questions for you, but guess what? You're going to actually love them by the time we're done, because I got some good strategies for you. So let's jump right in. Don't forget to check out the objective as always on the bottom. Solve 2-step word problems involving measurement conversions. So watch out. Here come the conversions. Number 1. Tia cut a 4-meter, 8-centimeter wire into 10 equal pieces. Marta cut a 540-centimeter wire into 9 equal pieces. How much longer is one of Marta's wires than one of Tia's? So you might look at this and go, I have no idea what to do. And I will say, let's use a tape diagram so that we can start by seeing what they give us. And let's also make sure we're talking about the same units. So use one label for all of them. See, they've got meters and centimeters, and then they've got centimeters. Don't do that. Change everything into centimeters so that we're dealing with one unit all the way across. So we've got Tia, and she has her 4-meter, 8-centimeter, which, if you know that 1 meter equals 100 centimeters, and hopefully you do know that, then 4 meters would be 400, but then there's an 8 extra. So the total is 408. So if you take your 408, and again, we're going to divide it into 10 pieces. So when you make your tape diagram, split it in half, and then there are 5 pieces on each side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If they're not perfect, it's okay. It's just the idea that you have 10 pieces. Now, Marta, oh, and by the way, label the whole thing 408 centimeters. And then we can go on and talk about Marta. And she also has a tape diagram, aka her wire, and it's 540 centimeters, and it's in 9 pieces. So label what you know, and then cut it in 9. And what you can do is you can make 3 sections first, and then put 3 in each section, because 3, 6, 9. Okay, so we've got our 10 and we've got our 9. Now, the thing is that you're trying to compare how much longer is one of Marta's wires than one of Tia's. Well, right now we don't know how long one is at all of either person. So after you set up your tape diagram and you look and see that we have these things divided, division is what you need to do when you set up Tia's with her 10 pieces. And so you take your 408 divided by 10. Now you can divide by 10, and you know that that's just shifting. It's really divided by 1, and then shift the digits to a lower place value position for 40.8. And that's going to be for one piece. And then for Marta, she only has 9, so it's 540 divided by 9, which we haven't done the regular bracketed long division in a while, but that's okay. It's 54 divided by 9 with the extra 0. So if you know your facts, then you know that you would get 60. Okay, now we have 40.8 and 60, and now they're saying compare. How much longer is one of Marta's than one of Tia's? So that's just a real simple subtraction problem. And be very careful. Now, this is where people can go wrong. This is 60 ones, and this is 40 ones. And so you want to remember to set up lining up your numbers with place value positions in mind. 60 is greater than 40. That's going to be the number on the top. But there's tenths here and no tenths here. So remember, you don't just flip it over. We literally have no tenths to pull from. So this turns into a subtraction with borrowing problem, and that's okay, and that's okay. And go here. And when you drop 10, and then you have to take 1 again, you end up with 9 in the middle and 10 on the end. So that is your subtraction all the way across. Now we've got everything set up to subtract. I finally have 10 and minus 8 for 2. 9 comes right down, and 5 minus 4 is 1. Using the label that we started with at the beginning so we don't have to mess around with meters. So one of Marta's is 19.2 centimeters longer than Tia's. Okay, so there you go. See, not too bad. If you break it up and really think about it and go slowly, then we'll figure these out. Oh, and then here comes the next one. So exciting. So Jay needs 19 quarts more paint for the outside of his barn than for the inside. So we got the outside, we got the inside. Ooh, I'm going to straighten this out for you. You're welcome. If he uses 107 quarts in all, how many gallons of paint will be used to paint the inside of the barn? So here's another little place where you can make a tape diagram. And it's helpful because we have the 19 more. And we have something missing. So let me just show you. If I have the outside and I've got the 19 more for the outside, then for the inside, I don't know. But for the outside, I have plus 19. I do know that. So if you make this little tape diagram with this real close comparison, then we know that whatever this is the same. So you make these pieces the same size. And then we have the total 107 quarts in all. How many caution gallons of paint will be used to paint the inside of the barn? So not only are they messing around with the amounts, but we have to figure out this inside-outside. So you make your tape diagram so that you can see what you're doing, and then it should start to kind of become clear. So once I take my 107 and I go, I know about the 19, so why don't I just take that off? If I take that off, I will have 2 equal pieces. So do the subtraction. 7 minus 9 you can't do, and there's nothing here. So you go next door, take one where you can get it, and you drop off the 10, but you got to borrow again and drop off your 10 here. So 17 minus 9, 8, 9 minus 1 is 8. So I have, this is all quarts so far, so 88 quarts to split evenly. Oops, Evently. No, how about evenly? So 88 divided into the 2 equal pieces is 44 quarts for each of these, which means I have 44 quarts used on the inside. And if I needed to know the outside, I would take my 44 and I would add it to 19. But at this point, we don't need to know that, so that's kind of irrelevant. I think at one point I actually solved that, and I spent all this time, and then I'm all, oops, don't need to do that, which don't feel bad if you did it too. Yay, it just makes us all feel better about each other. Okay, so then how many gallons of paint will be used to paint the inside of the barn? I've got my 44 quarts, but that answer is not in the right measurement unit, and remember, the objective of today is to do conversions. So take your 44 quarts, and we're going to use our conversion strategy that I showed you on a previous video. And as always, go watch the previous videos because they really are helpful in the problem set. And then go watch the one on conversions because that one has the formula. So here is the formula in use. We're going to take our 44, multiply by 1 of the old unit, Okay, and remember that if we're changing from quarts, which is a smaller unit, to a gallon, which is a bigger unit, then I'm going to have fewer of the bigger unit. So if I multiply by 1, yep, I would get 44 quarts, but here's the conversion. What is a quart of a gallon? And so this is where you're going to have your fraction and the new label, because when you go from small to large, we were multiplying by, like, in metrics, like by a tenth or 100th, depending on how many positions we moved. So this one creates remember putting 44 over 1, and 44 times 1 is 44, and 1 times 4 is 4. So you really get 44 divided by 4, which is really just a simple division problem, which gives us our 11 gallons to be used inside. There you go. See, so when you break it down, it's really not that bad, and take it slow. Make a picture. Remember that the strategy is read, draw, write. Take it in pieces. These are 2-step problems, so don't give up after you start the first half and then you're like, 44 quarts, I'm done. No, you're not. Okay, next one. I'm going to straighten you out again. Bam. All right. Oh, and they just get better. String A is 35 centimeters long. String B is 5 times as long as string A. Both are necessary to create a decorative bottle. Find the total length of string for 17 identical decorative bottles. Express your answer. There it is, by converting to meters. Okay, so if they give you string A is 35, let's just say string A, string B, blah, 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 35 cm. String B is 5 times as long. So if that's 1, then it's 2, 3, 4, 5, just to get the visual. And these are all 35, etc. 35, 35, 35. So when you see all these 35s, you should be thinking, what? Multiplication, right? Because it's just repeated addition. It's a whole bunch of 35s. It's the same number repeated. So if you want to know how many centimeters that you need of both strings to make one bottle, then go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Set up a simple multiplication problem and multiply. 6 times 5 is 30. 6 times 3 is 18, 19, 20, 21. Don't forget your label. I'm just get sloppy and go fast. But what is that? That is for one bottle. And we actually need to find 17 bottles. And then we have to change our answer. So we're going to take our 210 and multiply by 17. So we can figure out for the mini bottles. And then we'll do, not mini, but many, M-A-N-Y. Then we'll convert. So 7 times 0, 0. 7 times 1, woo! 7 times 2, 14. Okay, done with the 7. Hold that spot. Get over to the tens place, because this is really 110. 1 times 0, 0. 1 times 1, 1. 1 times 2, 2. Love it when it's 1, because you just should have 210. And we do. Add, 7, add. Now this is centimeters times 17, so the total answer we have is in centimeters. But we now have to convert that. So remembering that King Henry died unexpectedly drinking chocolate milk chart, the meters would be the ones place. The centimeters is 2 spots over. That's the chocolate. Okay? Don't forget the space for the drinking, which is the decimeters, which we're going right over. So it's going to be the 3570 that you have. And because we're making meters, so we have to have fewer of those. You're going to divide, because you're shifting to a greater place value position, by 2 positions, which means if my decimal is here, pump, pump, it's going to be 35.7. You don't have to have the 0 there. If you want it there, you can, but it's really unnecessary. And that would be your final answer for the bottles, for all the string needed for 17 bottles. And there you go. Okay. Hope you're feeling good about these. See how if you break it up, it's not quite that bad. I think this problem made me cry in the beginning. Probably if it made you cry, just we can all feel good about ourselves now. It's actually not that bad. Once I figured out how to do it, I was like, oh, right, of course. But I remember when I was a kid, I would look at these and I would feel like it was right on the tip of my tongue. And I'm like, I can almost see how to do it, but then it would just escape me because I did not know how to use tape diagrams. So anyway, let's read through this. A pineapple is 7 times as heavy as an orange. The pineapple also weighs 870 grams, more than the orange. What is the total weight in grams for the pineapple and the orange? And I remember saying, they don't give us enough information. How am I supposed to know? And nobody ever said, oh, well, if you just make a picture, it's really easy. So if you have the pineapple and the orange and the pineapple is 7 times, that right there is giving you some numbers. The orange is, say, this heavy. Mystery number. Don't need it right now. The pineapple is everything that the orange is and 7 times more of that. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay? So mystery number. That's okay. That's okay. I know you think, well, how are we going to do this? Well, it also weighs 870 grams more than the orange. So they're telling you the more than from here to here is 870 grams. Now we have something to work with because you have a number here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You have the number 6. And that is what we're going to do with our 870. We're going to divide it into 6 pieces. We haven't done our long division in a while, but this is a long division bracket-worthy problem. It's because you're going to have leftovers. So 6 fits into 8 one time. Multiply and use all 6 of those. And then we have 2 left over. Quick compare. Yes, it's less. Move on. Bring down the 7. 27 now divided by 6. We can fit 4 6s in for a total of 24. Subtract and get 3. Yes, that's less than 6. So bring down. Bring down your 0 in the ones place. Now I have a number that's evenly divisible by 6. 30 divided by 6 is 5. 5 times 6 is 30. We use all the pieces evenly. That makes me very happy. So what is 145? Well, that's the grams in each box. So I do know the answer for every single one of these. So if I needed to know what half of a pineapple was, or, I could figure out anything. So now they're saying what is the total weight in grams for the pineapple and the orange. Now that I know the size of one, I can know the size of all. This here is 6, but the total number of pieces for everything is 8. So simply multiply with 145 times 8. And then we need grams. So we're still using grams. 8 times 5, 40. 32 plus 4, 36. And then 1,160 grams for both. Then we're going to express the total weight of the pineapple and the orange in kilograms. You're going to take that answer and convert it to kilograms, which I know you can do because you're going to use the formula. So see how it's not that bad? These are so helpful. Anyhow, take your 1160 times 1 of the old times the equivalent of the new. So what is 1 gram when compared to a kilogram? This is very actually tiny. It's 1/1000th of a kilogram, which means that this is going to be eventually divided by 1,000. So if you want to set it up, you can do that. You can even use the 1/1000th if you prefer. And you're still going to get the same answer, but we're going to shift that number 3 positions smaller. And you don't have to have the 0 after it, but do label it with your new label, because that's the whole point here, is to express it in kilograms. So yay, click subscribe, come back. I hope this is helpful. I always want to help you guys. I hope it's fun. I hope it's helping teachers too. Haha. Because yep, I needed help in the beginning. Anyway, we'll see you on the next video. Bye for now.